Oh. Okay. Uh, we're live, I believe.
Yeah, we are indeed live.
Oh, forget the screen. Wow. Oh. Okay, my chest is gonna die. Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Welcome to this.
This.
Anyway, just stop. Hello and welcome to this run, Kirby and the Missing Mirror, or in Japanese, Hoshi no Kari Kagami no Daimeikyuu. What I mean is
Yes, that's right. We're playing the game in Japanese. So, well, hello, everybody. My name is Just Call Me Gio. You can just call me Gio, and I'm here to be the commentator for this amazing, moderately better than average mirror run from Nacho.
Hello, and I'm Nacho. I'm going to be the runner on this above average mirror run. So yeah, we'll just restart this thing, and the time is when I just hit the start button and a clean save file because this is 100%. So let's start in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
So yeah, here we go.
So basically, there is 4 Kirby's on this game, and we don't want them to do stuff because they are 4 Kirby's. They are doing anything except hurt in some cases.
Yeah, the Kirby's here are going to be... Like, the idea of the game was to be a multiplayer game. And of course, when you don't have friends, you don't want AI taking over those friends. So the other Kirby's can be very unhelpful at times. And of course, we want to be alone as much time as possible. There are times that where we'll want the Kirby's to be there, but that's not going to be the case a lot of the time. For example, here Nacho is going to call them back after failing the mix. This is one of the hardest tricks in the game, and of course it's at the very beginning of the run. And you got it second try. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a 4-point window for the mix. The wheel mix is like, depends on the first power you actually have. You need 2 enemies that gives you a copy ability, and the first one is going to be taken on the wheel mix. So yeah, luckily Spore has a really good timing, at least for me. I learned how to time the wheel mix.
Yeah, as Nacho was saying, the mix basically it's a roulette of every single one of the abilities in the game, even the secret ones. And of course we want a specific one, in this case the wheel. And so Nacho has to eat 2 enemies that give copy abilities, and the first one gives you the first ability that appears in the mix roulette, which the mix roulette is always the same. So you can time it, and of course you can get the wheel here too. So we can just go around the map very fast because wheel is very fast.
Yeah, and I'm forced to do this reference on this community because it's just like Sonic Adventure. We are spinning around like most of the game.
Yep. So yeah, the wheel is going to be your friend for a majority of the run. Every part that we need to cover a distance, we're probably going to use wheel, unless we have to fight something right after. And in this case, Nacho is going to grab 2 Waddle Dees and use them to hit the boss there, Mr. Frosty, I remember the name, and he's going to skip this button. He's not going to skip every button, but there are many that are necessary for the run. And of course, here is the first level of the game. Basically, this game has levels, and at the same time, it doesn't have levels. It has some kind of interconnected map, which has rooms that are part of a world, and you can go from map to map depending on which doors you take. It's a very interesting interconnected map, and of course, we have to take the better route. But this is in the game, the fastest first level you can have, and the only first level you can have, because the button to go anywhere else is right here at the end of the Moonlight Mansion. So you have to press this button if you want to go anywhere else, and of course you can just go ahead and reset and don't kill this enemy. You have to kill it anyway. So here is Wispy Woods. We have to hit him with the rock ability from very high, and 2 hits and he's done. And we got our first mirror chart. The mirror chart is the MacGuffin of this game. We need 8, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 8 mirror charts if we wanna fight the final boss. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Get the mirror charts by killing the bosses. Here, luckily, we have a wheel literally right there, so we can use that to just zoom around very fast. And here's where you're going to see some of the movement, the vertical movement of the wheel. You can spin around in the wheel to cover a little bit of space downwards without moving too far, and it's going to be useful.
Now there is basically this game is also called Kirby and the Missing Wheel.
Yeah, Kirby and the Amazing Wheel, because wheel is going to be used a lot during the run. As I said before, this is an interconnected world, so practically all the doors lead you to a different room, and some rooms can get you pretty far. So you are going to see some repeats sometimes, especially on the backgrounds, so we can travel around. You can see a general idea of the map here in the after pressing a button. So yeah, it's a very interesting game, and this is one of those special doors. There are many of them in the game that teleport you to a completely different part of the map. And so here we are now in Cabbage Cavern. And here is a place where we're going to see a very beautiful couple of deja vu moments from Nacho to get down here. And of course we are now in a completely different background, and this part is pretty cool. You have to use wheel, and wheel has a little invincibility, so you can use it to go there. And here we're going to see another thing. Wheel, even if it's faster to fall down as Fat Kirby here, as Kirby with something in his mouth, and you can take your ability with it and just go down that place with wheel in the mouth, so you don't lose it, as you're going to need it now. And here we are at Radish Ruins, where wheel definitely shows his power.
Okay, so as a fun fact, when I was doing my 100% playthrough, I just got everything on this map. I got everything on the game, except for one thing on this level. I forgot the map, and the only thing I need for the 100% it was the map.
That kind of thing happens. The game does have some maps, and Green already has a UFO. Excellent.
Wow.
And well, that was a specific enemy that we're going to see twice, if I'm not mistaken, in the run, which is a mirror door which has an enemy. If you approach that enemy slowly, or you attack it from far away and you miss, the enemy will burrow himself underground, and you are not going to be able to take that door. Luckily for us, wheel is fast enough so we can just kill the enemy without even having to worry about that when you go from that side.
Yeah.
If you probably never got it, but the idea of this game is that it's an amazing mirror that we have to complete, and it's also an amazingly big maze that we have to go through. Every stage feels like a maze, and there are things in levels and rooms that make it feel even more like a maze. So yeah, this is Kirby just going around in mazes. That's why it's amazing. So that there was one of the many mini bosses that this game has. A classic of Kirby games, that there are a lot of mini bosses that give you copy abilities. That there was the Master Hand from the Super Smash Bros. Games. The Master Hand gives you the ability of Smash, which is a very interesting ability in this game that gives you various moves from Kirby's Smash moveset.
I believe it was melee, the melee movement.
Almost all of them. Almost all of them. So yeah, practically the entire melee moveset of Kirby is here as a copy ability, and Smash later appeared again in future versions of the game, especially the 25th anniversary of the franchise. And here we are, just getting nearby the next boss that we're going to fight. I'm just going to grab sword here, and here is question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't even know who this guy is. Nobody knows. It's a completely different character from everything that we've seen before in the series and the franchise. And of course, we're going to fight it with a sword, because this character that has never appeared before, and it requires a sword to fight him. And of course, we can just hit him with the sword. That's it. Nacho is going to be soft-resetting after every single one of these mirror charts, because it's faster than going back after watching the dance animation from Kirby.
Now to the shortest segment of the run.
Yep. The shortest segment of the run. As I said before, this is an interconnected map, so there are a lot of doors that can give you shortcuts to different parts of the game. The whole idea of the game was to explore and find yourself the best path to reach every single boss that were at the end of each world. As I said before, there are 8 bosses, and Nacho is going to be defeating every single one of them. As you can see, rock is also a stone. A stone is going to be also a very useful ability, especially for defeating bosses, as a staple of the ability is that it's completely invulnerable. And here we're going to fight Monty Mole, which is a very interesting enemy. The whole idea of the mole is that he's going to burrow himself underground and throw stuff at us. But we can use throw here to grab one of the things that he throws and start charging it while hitting him. And it literally dies in a couple of seconds.
Yep, I got the perfect RNG for the button. That's the best RNG on the button.
That's the best RNG you can get for that boss. And here we go to the next stage. Again, we're going to grab wheel.
I forgot for a moment that I need to go here.
Yeah, need to go there.
There is this thing on every time you hit an enemy, the game lags a bit, and
it slows down.
That's intended because you hit an enemy. We need to make it look like really epic, and that's why the game slows down a bit. So the thing with the wheel movement, wheel is going to hit tons of times the enemies. So we want to avoid hit the enemies as much time as possible.
Yeah, wheel is like that. Wheel is the kind of attack that, well, in Kirby games especially, you have this thing that if you hit an enemy, I know I also speedrun a Kirby game that where you hit an enemy, the screen slows down a bit, and of course we want to try to not hit as many enemies as we can. So here we're going to fly upwards, just evade all those gordos, and just keep going. Buttons themselves are very important in the run. They let you go back and to the mirror hub, and of course it opens new routes you can take, and of course that helps in the run. So here we are in Carrot Castle. This is one of my favorite stages in the game, my favorite part of the game actually. I really love the whole idea of the Carrot Castle. And yeah, this game is beautiful for being a GBA game. The backgrounds are amazing, and the general aesthetic of the game feels cool. That enemy there was an enemy that is a block. It's fun. It appears a couple of times in the game. Here we're going to do the same thing that we did before, the whole grabbing the ability and just going shooting ourselves in cannons with a bunch of spikes while having the ability in our mouth. That is specifically because if you have an ability in your mouth, you don't lose it when you get damage. If you don't have it in your mouth and you have it normally, any hit can take your ability out. So it's better to keep it in their mouth in risky parts like that.
Okay, this is the next boss. I scream. I'm doing this really bad right now. Okay, this is Mega Titan, the boss of the of Carol Castle. Is have two phases. The first one we need to push him against the electrified walls, and the second one is Tiny Titan.
Yeah.
It's going to fire us some missiles, and just like that, we're done. We're so powerful also for the bosses.
Yeah, the mega and mini titans are not that difficult. It's an interesting mechanic. The whole thing you have to throw them against the electrified walls, and we have now 4 of the 8 mirror chart pieces that we need to beat the game. So Nacho is doing pretty great right now.
That's the one time we saw the Kirby dance, because also it's useful. So instead of soft reset, we watch the animation and get close to
and we keep the wheel.
And we still keep the wheel, and also we are close to the last door we used from the hole.
So yeah, Nacho, the Kirby dance usually takes more time than soft resetting, but this is the exception, specifically because of what Nacho explained. We want to be at the side of that door, keep the wheel, and also go here. So yeah, this is the water part of the game. This game has a lot of stuff like that. And as usual, you can only use a couple of abilities on the water. Specifically, I think in this game is Hammer and Sword.
Yep, Hammer, Sword, Parasol, and
I think
UFO.
Parasol, yeah. Parasol and UFO, yeah.
And UFO. Basically, it is a weapon style power. It's just like you can use it underwater.
You can use it underwater. But any other power you can't. You only have the state where Kirby swims and can shoot water from his mouth. And that state is useful, especially since we need to keep the wheel here for all the sections. So yeah, we have a lot of things we can do.
But don't worry, if this is one of the times everything is a water level, we don't just wait alone.
Something that the water level has, is that if you lose your ability underwater, you practically can't recover it. If the ability star touches a ceiling, it instantly dies. And of course, we can inhale while we're underwater, so there's nothing we can do if we lose the ability.
Okay, there is a mixed instance here. I'm going to try it just for memes. Didn't get it, and I'm close to death, so I'm going to take this really carefully. There's a tomato here. The Mexi tomatoes give us full health, so that's pretty nice.
The Maxi tomato always gives you full health, so it's useful.
Yep,
pretty useful.
Right now there is a strat here that since I didn't get the mix, for the mix we want fire or UFO, and we didn't get it. So this is the backup strat that is really cool to see, but it needs some weird manipulation of the Kirbys.
Yeah, this is one of the instances we want to have the Kirbys with us. Basically, you can jump in the head of one of the Kirbys for a couple of frames, if I'm not mistaken, and you can input an attack that can let you hit the bomb block. But you need to manipulate the Kirbys a bit to help you with that.
And also I luckily have Sword that it's not bad, but also it's not really useful.
Yeah, we don't really want the Kirbys to be around us that much. We want them in the parts they are useful, not everywhere. Yeah, Olive Ocean is this very big water level in the game. It's the water level, the obligatory water level in any platformer. So there's a ton of water. Everywhere. So yeah, the meta blocks that Nacho just went through are a specific type of block in this game. You can only destroy with a couple of abilities. Hammer and burning are the main ones here. Something very interesting about this game is the fact that the doors have the stars and they shine differently depending on if you have entered them or not, making it pretty easy to keep exploring if you don't have a guide or map of the game.
Oh yeah, also there is the difference between doors, that if the door is a giant, for saying something like that, it's basically the end of the level door, so you go to a bonus stage. If it's like medium size, it's a two-way door, so you can enter and exit, and if it's a tiny star, it's a one-way door, so you can't go back.
It's a one-way door. You can only get through once, and you are teleported into another part of the map. You can't go back, like this door that we just went through. So here we have Not Fatty Whale, which is this shark. It's very easy to kill with stone, which stone keeps its state while underwater, and shark is done. Well, Gobbler, it's the name of the shark here.
Oh, you said the name, no.
I called him Fatty Whale, so we're fine.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the buttons obviously give us various ways to get to parts we need, and movement and routing in this game, it's very cool for a Kirby game. Usually Kirby games are pretty linear. This is one of the main differences between them. Pretty good concept too. And multiplayer, this game is amazing. Pun intended. So we had the water level, and of course we now have the obligatory ice level. Because platformers, right?
Not a nice platform if you don't have any ice physics.
Yeah, if you don't have ice physics and water physics, your platformer doesn't work. You also need a fire level and a jungle level at some point if you want to get respect from your peers, if you are a platformer.
Yeah, when it's the floor is ice, Kirby is going to slide a lot when you try to break. Anyways, this is not the actual time for an ice level. We're actually going to the space level, Candy Constellation.
Yeah, so here we have a Warp Star, a staple of the Kirby series, and the Warp Star is going to be sending us straight to Candy Constellation, which is the last level of the game. This is a very interesting part too. It's obviously as it's the last place you are supposed to be in the main game, and this being a kind of open world to the not Metroidvania game, it's very on the way of you can do whatever you want at any point. So even if this game is designed to be the last place you visit in the game, you can even visit it first if you try to not defeat every boss. And you just have to press the correct buttons and enter the correct doors, and you can go and kill the bosses of the last level of the game first if you want. That's why it's a very cool open world GBA multiplayer game. Okay. Something that is not really common.
Okay, so I don't know if you saw that kind of hedgehog enemies that are blue and they are going super fast. I don't know if it's that a reference or something. Maybe?
I don't really know many hedgehogs that are blue and go very fast, so I don't know. I'm not the Sega guy here. So yeah, we have to go through Candy Constellation. As I said before, this level is designed to be the last place you visit in the game. Though the game obviously expects you to not have something like wheel at this point. The game obviously expects you to use every single one of the copy abilities everywhere you can, and of course, so you're supposed to get them.
Oh yeah, also this game has like health upgrades. We're not going for any of them because it's really slow, but it will be really nice to have pretty much more than 6 HP.
Yeah. This game also had a lot of chests with upgrades and different colors for Kirby and music and things you can get, trying to make it more fun to explore and get everything in the game.
Basically, if you want the 100% of the game, you need to visit every room, open every chest, and beat all the bosses.
Yeah, that's 100% of the game. So yeah, Candy Constellation is one of the longest levels we're going to be in one specific place most of the time. Where we also have some UFOs here. UFOs are a power-up that it's definitely one of the most broken power-ups in the franchise. It's appeared in a couple of games. It has everything. Can go underwater. Can fly. Makes the game a shoot 'em up. And yeah, the UFO also has appeared in other Kirby games, but in the GBA games, it's definitely the greatest example of what UFO is. And there are Kirby games where UFO can only be gotten once in the entire game, making it a very interesting copy ability in those games. And it's also a DLC in Planet Robot. You can pay to use UFO via Amiibo. And yeah, here we're going to use the Kirby's because we want as much damage as we can in Master Hand and Crazy Hand. These bosses have appeared in every single Kirby game before and after this one, of course. I'm not lying. Who you think I am? I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, after defeating them, we're ready with Master Hand and Crazy Hand, which is another cameo from the Smash Bros. Series, this time with the secondary hand that was added in the Super Smash Bros. Melee game. Very neat. Very neat.
Okay, the dance wasn't intended, but you know, losing time. But I need to show off some more of the other Kirby's on the marathon. In the marathon set, you know, showing off, not going for PBs, not going to try hard, go really hard on the game, but having a chill time, relaxing, and showing what is the game about. Basically, I lose time just because it looks nice.
That's exactly the marathon mindset I was expecting here.
I'm also trying to not lose wheel.
Yeah, this time we don't need to lose wheel. It's difficult here because everything, as I said before, everything can take your ability out. Spikes, enemies, everything from projectiles, and of course, the ability goes pretty far. And it's gone. So yeah, that can happen. Wheel definitely is something we need a lot in the game, and losing it loses more time. And wheel and abilities in general, to keep them in a Kirby game, it's difficult. In any Kirby game. Nacho has to go for another wheel. Something that I like about this game in particular is the fact that the copy ability status don't don't override your current copy ability. Something that other Kirby games do, which is if you touch one of the copy ability status, you lose your current ability for the ability in the status. So you have to be careful. And yeah, sliding Kirby is fun.
Ice physics.
Ice physics.
And we don't need wheel here, we need to go for something different. We're going to use parasol, umbrella, whatever you want to call it. And it's time for Hey All, Scott here.
Yeah. Yeah, Scott the Wiz here is going to be the next boss, and we are going to use Parasol because it's actually one of the best abilities to defeat Scott the Wiz here.
And that was perfect ranging.
Nice.
That was the perfect RNG for the boss fight.
I have to say that I love the fact that the field whiz, you literally have to keep the umbrella there. And that's it. We are now going to go for the last piece of the mirror puzzle that we need. Funnily enough, this game does have an ability called Magic, which main property is that Kirby gets a hat and gets a random effect. And funny enough, Whis, being a mage, doesn't give you the ability because he's a boss.
Yeah.
Instead, you get the magic ability from the weird boxes you find as mini bosses sometimes. So now we have to go to the last boss, and that boss is in a specific place called Monster Mountain. And Monster Mountain, as we said before, we already had the ice level, the water level, the forest level, the everything level. So now we lack the stone and fire level, or the mountain level, if you want to call it like that. The mountain that somehow becomes a volcano later. Fun stuff.
Okay, so the mustard here is really hot somehow.
Yeah, this is probably mustard that has been in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and of course, it's not the best idea to touch it. Luckily for us, we have Wheel that somehow has the ability to go through everything. Funny ability.
Okay, we don't have the good RNG there, so Shadow Kirby has 1 in 3 chances to give us the candy, and the candy gave us invincibility, and we want that. It's just 1 in 3 chances, so we can have a Maxi Tomato, a 1-up, or the invincibility. But instead we're using Stone because Rock type is effective against Flying and Fire type, so it's...
Yeah, this is going to be the best option here. It's going to do more damage. It's not going to do more damage, but it's a joke about Pokemon. So basically, now we have the boss of the world, and we're going to give the ability here. And this is someone I don't really know. He hasn't appeared in any other Kirby game at any point in time, except for this one. So we're going to defeat the weird cloud that only appears in Amazing Mirror.
Yeah. Once it's done, we just go to the mirror, we enter, we do superset, we enter again to the game, we take a stone, we call the Kirbys, the boys, so why not? We can fight against question mark, but it has an end that is in Japanese, and I don't know Japanese, sorry. So
yeah, what Nacho did there is skipping the cutscene by making the game think that he already saw it by resetting in the middle of the cutscene.
Shout out skipping there.
And yeah, this character, Dark Meta Knight, appeared later is actually the representative of Amazing Mirror in Star Alice, for example, and it's a very interesting thing, and of course, levitating Kirby.
So this is Dark Mind. We're going to get rid of our power. We're going to take the sword to make a double star. Double star will hit it and one shot it, and it's done.
Yeah, and that's Dark Mind.
That's Dark Mind.
So they need to do to Dark Mind.
Anyway, so for the next boss, we're going to take Burning, and we're going to get rid of our power, get the sword, get rid of the sword, make a double star, and this is Dark Mind. We're going to use the double star to wait for him to open the eye, and I missed it. Okay, this is really bad. Because again, as every Kirby boss, it's RNG.
Yeah. That's the main problem here.
I will need to get a copy ability.
Yep. The whole strategy here is to get the copy ability, then use that copy ability with another item to get ourselves to get ourselves a double star that can instantly kill every phase of this guy.
Sorry, this wasn't really expected.
It's fine. It's Armine. things can happen with characters like this.
Oh yeah, okay. I believe they can add this the wise conclusion here, because I just can't take the sword and just that the sword is to be rounding without disappear. So yeah, that's really good. So I can actually do this, get rid of my power in the correct way, and one shot. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's the way you have to do that. The sword, as we said before, doesn't disappear unless you shoot it. So yeah, it's useful.
Okay, so for the next part of the run, we're going to take a power here. Spark was really fine. So this is Dark Mind. We're going to get rid of the power, take the sword, and make a double star. So once Dark Mind opens the eye, we're going to one-shot him. And just like that.
Fun boss.
Okay, so this is another room. We need to be prepared for the next boss here. And I lost sword. We need sword to activate the switch, so I'm going to go off the screen and make the enemy respawn.
Classic.
Okay, so this is Dark Mind. We're going to get rid of our power here, get rid of the sword, and make a double star. So once he open the eye, it's going to one-shot him. So I need to wait up for a bit. And that is not. Just kidding. Now, we need to wait for a green star. Why specifically a green star? Because for some reason the green star is going to give us a mix.
And the mix, we're going to use it for the ability that we're going to need in the next part of the run. So yeah, Dark Mind is a boss that appears 4 times here at the end of the game. It's literally the same, just with different floors. Almost there. This mix, as every mix in the game, it's difficult.
I kill it, but then I died. Wow. Okay, this is going to be really fun. I hope I don't get overestimated.
I don't think. But yeah, this is something that can happen sometimes. Dying at the same time you get the kill.
So I'm going to use the sword just a bit to make some damage. It's not useful, but it's something actually. Okay, now I actually need a green star because it's going to be really useful for the next boss.
Yeah, UFO, which was the ability that Nacho got in the previous green star, it's definitely the ability to have for the final boss in the game.
Come on. Come on. Thank you. It took a while.
Yeah, it took a while. That can happen definitely. We're talking about mixes in Kirby games. That is common. Definitely one of the hardest parts of speedrunning any Kirby game.
So this is Dark Mind. Yeah, this is Dark Mind. This giant egg. Eye.
Yeah. Yeah, a ball like various Kirby enemies. And of course, we have to kill the big eye of not Sauron here to by using UFO. Shadow Kirby here throws us the Master Sword, which is the name of that ability. I haven't made it up, and actually I haven't made it up. But yeah, that ability, it's supposed to be the one you have to kill the last boss, the final boss.
And that was Armine?
By using... Yeah, and that was Armine. You literally use UFO, you shoot it, and that's it. You shoot it constantly in the eye by floating at the side using UFO. It's the best ability to defeat Armine. And of course, of every Kirby game, the final boss...
It's going to be Darkman.
Change. Yeah, and the final boss changes the mechanics of the game for the last part of their fights. Most bosses do in Kirby games.
This is now a shoot 'em up.
Of course, this is now a shoot 'em up, something that Kirby loves to do sometimes. It's being a shoot 'em up. So we have to know.
Time is coming up. Just one. I just do the final hit. It's going to be really hard because there is a ton of Kirby's, and more Kirby's means more lag and time.
GG's, Nacho. That was a very amazing run.
Okay, so this was Kirby and the Mr. Mirror. The better I had to do it. I hope it was underestimated. You can see
it was.
Oh,
it was.
Okay.
It was.
Nice.
Yeah. 1 minute even.
Nice.
So GG, Nacho. That was a very nice run of Kirby and the Missing Mirror. I hope you guys enjoyed the Kirby shenanigans that we had in this marathon.
And also I'm going to be later with Sonic Advance 2, more GBA shenanigans. Okay, so I'm going to wait for this. Nice! Nice, I got it in a marathon, nice!
Thanks, Nacho, for letting me be here
before going,
commentating.
Yeah, before going, shout outs to Gio. You can follow him on Twitter, on Twitch. There is a ton of places. And it's not. Shout outs to the Kirby community. They have if you are interested in this game, they have a cool tutorial. I used the tutorial and I got really good at it because the tutorial is so nice. So yeah, join to the Kirby community if you want to learn some pink ball games. And I will see you soon because it's not over for me yet.